So Battlefield 1's been going on for quite a while. Well, Battlefield 1 closed alpha, that is, and apparently on the 19th of July, that will be it. We'll have enough of St. Quentin Scar. We've played that enough. We've used the weapons. We've given our feedback, and that's pretty much it. It'll be a beta at some point in the autumn, or late summer, as they call it, around sort of September or something like that, and it's going to be an open beta for everybody else, and everybody gets to play it. And hopefully will be something different than it was this time around, because I personally think that this wasn't the best map for us to sort of play around. There isn't too much cover. There's just a little bit in the city where sort of everybody's bunched up together there, and if you really want to sort of go on kill streaks and sort of get that, then you should just play as Assault. Assault can dominate pretty much everything at this stage. There's still so much balancing to be done with the classes, but more weapons and more things are going to come, so we'll just have to see how that's going to work. But I still think if you'd have given sort of the shotgun to maybe the medics, or give the shotgun to the support, maybe that would have changed things up a little bit, because you'd have medics going around trying to support infantry as much as they can by reviving them and by sort of getting up there and close and personal. While I still don't understand why they took out the ticket mechanic. What happened? Who complained? What's going on? Where is it? Bring it back. It's been good for 15 years. If it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it. That's kind of the way it is. Nothing and nobody ever complained about the ticket mechanic not being in there. That was a genuine strategy of the game, where you'd have to rush in and revive just to save yourself some tickets. So I don't understand why that's sort of not in. Maybe just because it's the alpha and they're still sort of testing stuff out, and maybe that's going to sort of make its way back in, because as it is, the sort of spawn system, it's a bit too fast, and everybody sort of clicks space really quick, and that's it. You don't really have a chance as a medic to go and revive somebody. And you won't really find that many around, because there's no... I mean, obviously you've got the points reward to get something, because you revive somebody and you'll get 100 points or whatever you'll get. But there's no incentive for you to keep going as a sort of strategy part of the game, because you don't have the ticket bleed mechanic anymore, so you don't really need that anymore. As for the classes, we all know that the Assault is pretty OP at this stage, so we sort of left over with Support and Medic. Now, the Medic could definitely benefit some better weapons, though DMRs are just simply not doing it for you in anything that's relevant to close quarters, and you're just going to get wrecked all the time. And that's kind of the same story for the Support class. There just needs to be something there for him to make him sort of count in the battle, not just have him come in and blasting the shit out of that weapon, not really doing enough damage, and not having the weapons to compete with the Assault class. For the Sniper class, a couple of issues here and there. The Flare, obviously everybody's complaining about that. Why do we only have one Flare? Because we need to have more. He's not going to use it to help his team. Chances are, if he has one Flare, he's not going to go ahead and shoot it at an objective. He's going to keep it from himself, and whatever he's in a sort of bad situation, he's just going to use it from himself to try to get himself out of that jam. So I do think that in Bad Company 2, in Battlefield 3, then we had the Thugs and we had the Mines before. They always sort of came in sets of 3, and I think that's always going to be a natural thing, and I don't really see why he shouldn't get more than just that one Flare, because it doesn't really make sense. And the other thing that I'd love to see a Recon being able to do is being able to blow up vehicles, some sort of TNT or whatever the explosives were available back in those days. He should have something like that. If he's going to stay and protect that objective on top of that tower, or he proned out in a bush somewhere, if he's going to cap that objective, then there might be a tank next to him. He might be rolling up thinking, yeah, I'm in a good position, and the sniper could just easily creep up on him, stick a bit of dynamite on him or TNT or whatever, and he should be able to help out his team a little bit by proning that bush. So I think that's kind of what is really needed for the classes. And aiming, for me, I just found it really weird. It's going to take you some time to get used to it. It's just kind of strange that it was more rewarding for me to sort of hip fire than actually aim at people. I was getting more kills by hip firing rather than aiming, but we'll just have to see how that's going to play out. Now, we still have the other two classes to talk about, which is the tanker and the fighter pilot sort of class. I don't see them being relevant at all. They're only going to get a handful of weapons in the full game. I think it's like 6 weapons altogether. You're going to have that repair tool. You're going to have just a couple of things. You're not actual class, if that makes any sense. So I don't really see the point of that. What's going to end up happening, since you have no ticket mechanic now, you're going to have people sort of getting in, landing it close to his base, then changing class, then hopping in and using it as a taxi. You know, because that might be one of the reasons why they're not doing that anymore, because they want to stop people using it as a taxi. But what ends up happening a lot these days, and hopefully that'll be addressed as well, is I end up going on dogfights. As soon as I've got him disabled, he'll bail out, and then that's it. You'll get, if he's disabled, you'll get 100 points because you've disabled him. But if he gets to like 4, 5, 6, 10% and still bails, you don't actually get any points for that. As for repairing in mid-flight or anything like that, god damn, that needs to, something's got to happen with that, because there's nothing more fucking boring than sitting in the sky and just sort of leaning to one side and gliding down while you wait 10 seconds to repair one bit of your plane. Now, I actually did a bit of math on this, and I played, I think it was like a 15-20 minute match or something like that, and I repaired something like 3 times to get it back to 100%, and it was like about sort of 10 seconds each repair. Now if that makes 30 seconds and I've repaired 10 times, that's 300 seconds, which is like 5 minutes. Now if I played the 20-minute match and I spent 5 minutes just gliding down and falling sort of to my death so I can repair that, that's going to be boring as fuck. So that really needs to be addressed at some point, and as quickly as possible, because not only do you get damage from small arms fire, not only do you get damage from pretty much everything can shoot at you, and you will take damage. So you're constantly trying to repair that. So they'll need to have something. I know it's too early for us to have sort of maintenance and things like that for back in those days, but they need to do something with that mechanic, because I just think it's stupid and it shouldn't really be in there. But then again, we only have an extra month or so to wait, and we will get a beta, and we'll see what that's all about. Now, I did enjoy flying, and I enjoyed tanking more than I enjoyed actual infantry play. So for me, possibly, if it sort of continues on the same path, then possibly I'll be choosing sort of the way that I've always done in every Battlefield game. I've always specialized onto something. So in Bad Company 2, I was a sniper. In Battlefield 3, I loved the assault class. In Battlefield 4, I used to play a lot in the Little Bird. I always sort of specialized onto something. So I can't really put my finger on it just yet. I did enjoy it. I did have some fun. There is a lot of issues to be sorted out, and I think that's going to come with more weapons and more balancing and more tweaks. But we have to see what's going to happen in the open beta. So that's it for me for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Go ahead and leave me a comment, some of the things you like, some of the things you don't, and I will see you in the next one.